I'm Erin, I DJ as Maiden, and I'm part of Newy Bass Crew in Newcastle.
And I'm Carl, I DJ under KreliaS, and I'm also part of Newy Bass Crew.
What is it about drum and bass that makes you love it?
What isn't there to love about drum and bass?
Let's see how many drops we can get into a set. Drum and bass, I feel like you either get it or you don't. It's one of those things, is like choose your flavour. So we started sort of doing, guest mixes, doing takeovers and our own events, showcasing local talent. That's the main thing for us. The Australian producers who are doing drum and bass now are so unique to their sound.
Hello everybody from Newcastle, this is Bush Culture, interviewing artists. Guys, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Erin, I DJ as Maiden, and I'm part of Newy Bass Crew in Newcastle.
And I'm Carl, I DJ under KreliaS, and I'm also part of Newy Bass Crew.
Guys, awesome to finally, come to Newcastle and meet you. How you feel about your set and the party?
Yeah, heaps of fun. I'm really, really sweaty. But no, that was heaps and heaps of fun. I always love going back to back with Carl, so it's different energy because we both play sort of like different styles of drum and bass and that kind of stuff. So yeah, and like a nice offset from each other, I think. He's quite heavy and I like to sort of put a bit of silliness, I suppose, in.
What's your take on it, Carl?
I enjoyed it. It was a fucking great set. I definitely like to bring the deep, dark, heavy side of things, but that is equalised out with Erin's playfulness and levity, I guess, in her track selection.
Guys, your artist names. So, what does it mean for you? How did it come about? Maiden.
Mine was, I was thinking so hard on what to call myself, and so I just went with my original Instagram handle, and it kind of stuck. And I can never get rid of my hair now, but yeah, that's how mine came out. Carl's is way more interesting than mine.
Yes, Carl. What does KreliaS mean?
KreliaS is my last name flipped, reversed, with my first initial at the start of it.
And how did you come up with that?
So I've been listening to Tool and the Perfect Circle for a long time, and there was an artist called Renholder. His actual name is Danny Loner. So I worked out how he flipped his name around and tried to kind of emulate that, but how he didn't exactly work out how it didn't exactly work with my initials. So I just made it work for mine. Yeah. So KreliaS was the result.
Awesome. So guys, what is it about drum and bass that makes you love it?
What isn't there to love about drum and bass? Like it's the perfect music for any setting. Like you can have it on in the background while you're doing the dishes. You can play it at work while you're doing whatever, or if it's amplified over massive speakers, then you can get down and dirty to it. Like it's just the perfect music for any setting.
What do you think, Erin?
Yeah, I totally agree. Drum and bass, I feel like you either get it or you don't. And it's also like, I find a lot of people only really get latched onto that genre once they hear it in the right environment. With the sets that we kind of put together whenever we're doing our own sets separately, we have a real sort of focus on creating journeys in our sets with drum and bass, and like a lot of people do that, but a lot of the time, especially in a club setting, you find that it's just, let's see how many drops we can get into a set, right? So like, for me, the love of drum and bass is creating journeys out of this music that makes people feel something and takes people somewhere. And I've found that particularly in a festival setting, you have so much freedom to be able to do that, and it's way more rewarding, and the feedback that you get from being able to make people feel something, particularly with drum and bass, because I think that it's a forgotten genre in terms of like it has that depth to take an emotional journey. It's so special, and just is. It's like in my heart.
Awesome, guys. And so, Newy Bass Crew. How did the idea came about to start that, and what are you trying to do?
So originally, this was probably about 8 years ago. We had Newy D&B in Newcastle, and then sort of COVID happened, and a lot of people went separate ways, moved away, and everything like that. And then we sort of got this little group together of people who like bass music in general. So we didn't want to limit it to just drum and bass. It's bass music, and so we started sort of doing, you know, guest mixes. We worked doing cabin fever sessions on Orbital Radio for a while before sort of working our way into doing takeovers and our own events, and connecting just with other crews all around Newcastle, all around Australia really, and showcasing local talent. That's the main thing for us. Like international artists are great, but I think that there needs to be more of a focus on local, because they grow to become internationals at some point as well, and the support behind grassroots events and local artists, producers in their various forms is forgotten about, and that's our main focus, so in the Hunter Valley particularly.
And so, for Newy Bass Crew, what's next? What are your plans for the foreseeable future?
What have we got on? We've got a few gigs coming up in early next year. Real Fluid will be happening in January. We've also got Subsurge coming up. When was that happening?
February 7th in Newcastle at the Great Northern. Yeah.
Is it going to be an indoor event?
It's an indoor event. We've been hosting that one. This will be our 4th one, so it's a regular event. We're sort of trying to do them every 3 to 4 months, so there's not oversaturation of it. And that's our focus on local artists. So we sort of cover for that particular party Newcastle artists, Central Coast, and also we expand to like Sydney and also some regional producers at Canberra. We've had Tamiyaga play with us, like people like that. So that's on February 7th, and yeah, we'll have some more this year as well.
Guys, what do you think as far as Australian drum and bass producers? Where does it place Australia in the world? Like how much of an Australian artist impact into the drum and bass music has been, you reckon?
Well, it's sort of a broad range because there's a lot of producers that do dance floor drum and bass in particular. There's one from Newcastle, he does that, Solomon France. There's a few others in Sydney like Street Flicker and people like that that do sort of that more dance floor commercial drum and bass sound. But then of course there's like people like Etc. and Praxis and the guys from 8 Ball Audio up in Queensland that do sort of deeper, darker drum and bass sounds. I think it's sort of like, it's one of those things is like choose your flavour of drum and bass, and there's so many of them, but the Australian producers who are doing drum and bass now are so unique to their sound. I know that there's quite a few, like Enlil, for example. He integrates like a lot of like beautiful sound design into his sets and his production. Australian sounds like bird noises, things like that, make it really, really special and unique as well. But in terms of like the sound, it's so varied. There's so varied, so many.
What do you think, Carl?
There's guys like Dauntless down in Sydney who do some really good deep, dark kind of tech.
Yeah, he does like some techie, minimal stuff. He's been doing that for a while. And then there's Drew, Floor 20 as well, like who's playing right now. And he does some amazing jungle footwork, drum and bass, like all that kind of stuff. Kills it, absolutely kills it. So good.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for sitting down for this quick chat, and anything else that you'd like to add for the viewers or in general?
Come to Subsurge in February.
Ditto.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks everyone for watching. Yes, click like, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned. Bye.